What is up, everybody? This is Zacharias here with a new Let's Play. This time I am bringing you a great CRPG game called Avadon, the Black Fortress. I'm a huge fan of Spiderweb Software games. I've always been a huge fan of them ever since I was a kid, so I can't wait to get into this series with you all. There are 3 games in the Avadon trilogy, and obviously I'm going to start with the first one, Avadon the Black Fortress. So, without further ado, let's just start a new game. First though, we have to choose our character. Welcome to Avadon. First, select one of the 4 character types to the left. Use the text box to change your name. When you're ready, press the OK button. Blade Master. A Blade Master is a true warrior. He is most comfortable in a massive suit of plate armor, wielding a sword and shield or a huge halberd, striding boldly into a crowd of foes and sending them flying with mighty blows. Blade Masters are not subtle. Blade Masters are natural leaders. Their war cries can strengthen their allies and weaken their foes. They can also challenge enemies, keeping them away from fragile members of your group. Shadow Walker. The Shadow Walkers are warriors of the shadows. They count on cunning and evasion, slipping through the guards of their enemies and delivering lethal blows. They can attack with blades, throw razor disc and pots of noxious and deadly alchemical substances, and then vanish into thin air. Shadow Walkers have many tricks to evade, stun, poison, and heavily damage foes. Also, Shadow Walkers can pick locks and disarm traps. Shaman. The Shaman has dedicated her life to nature, and nature in return has rewarded her with great power. She can use her connection to the wilds to heal and bless her allies, and when angered, she can call wind, lightning, and fire to devastate those who challenge her. A shaman is rarely alone. She can call wolves or eventually drakes to serve and protect her. Also, she has a unique ability to heal wounded allies. The Sorceress has dedicated her life to the mastery of the arcane arts. Fragile in battle, she makes up for it with the ability to summon forth clouds of fire, lightning, or ice, obliterating her foes. But that is not all. A sorceress can cloud the minds of foes, even potentially causing them to fight for her. She can bless allies and curse enemies. She can even use spells to pick locks and disarm traps. Okay, so I think for my playthrough, I'm gonna run with a Blade Master. And the name I came up with for my Blade Master in a previous playthrough of this game is Xander, so we'll just roll with that. As for the difficulty, I always play on normal for my Let's Play, so let's begin. You are a warrior of the Midlands Pact. The Pact is an alliance of 5 nations banded together for safety. Far lands, enemies of the Pact, surrounded on all sides. These are nations of barbarians, raiders, titans, fated, jealous empires, all waiting for a sign of weakness. The Pact has one purpose: to crush the Far lands and keep them weak and divided. Otherwise, they will invade your homeland, take what they want, and massacre whoever stands in their way. You have spent your life training and preparing to defend the Pact, and you have done well. Your skill and potential has earned you the greatest of honors. You have been sent to serve at a new fortress, Avadon. Avadon, the Black Fortress. The warriors of Avadon watch over the 5 nations of the Pact. When anyone acts to harm the peace and tranquility of the Pact, Avadon has the authority to destroy them. Its authority and independence are almost without limit. And Avadon's power is not only over the outsiders of the Far Lands. Anyone who tries to weaken the Pact from within is subject to punishment. Brigands, spies, politicians all have reason to fear the eye of Avadon and the attention of its master, Keeper Redbeard. Avadon has watched over the Pact for 3 centuries. Its warriors wield the finest weapons, its wizards can learn the most powerful spells, and the Keeper of the Black Fortress, Redbeard, directs them all. Few outsiders know anything about Redbeard. There are plenty of rumors. Some say that he has 3 wives, each a deadly warrior. You've heard that assassins try to kill him every week. They all fail and, in turn, receive the most gruesome punishments imaginable. Some believe that Redbeard can see into your dreams. Outsiders, if they are lucky, never get close enough to Avadon to learn the truth. But today you will meet Redbeard yourself. You are standing outside the gates of the Black Fortress. You stand on the bridge over a deep, misty chasm. The iron gates of Avadon are before you. Beyond is your new life, full of adventure, danger, power, wealth, and service to the Pact. The Black Fortress looms over you, perched on an enormous granite peak. The gates open a crack, granting you entrance. You step through, and your service to Avadon begins. Okay. And like with any other Spider software game, like Avernum that I've covered already, it's very text heavy, very story heavy, but plenty of combat too. We will get into that. So they're all the same kind of retro style RPG, although you'll see that this is somewhat more different and definitely better in my opinion. Granted, I've only played through the first one once. I've never finished the second and third ones, but I do want to cover those after I finish this. So it is not going to be a blind playthrough, but I also don't remember everything. So bear with me if I get stuck, of course. So anyway, the Blade Master I created for my adventure is one named Xander. You start to cross Avadon's entry garden. Considering how terrified most of Linnaeus is of this fortress, it seems rather pleasant. Ponds, nicely tended lawn. To the east is another pair of gates, leading farther into the fortress. A pair of guards, wearing plate armor and wielding massive swords, stand at either side. There is also an elderly man in long, flowing robes. He has a pair of what looks like wolves in front of him. He is shouting commands at them. They don't seem concerned. Keep crossing the courtyard to the east. You get closer to the old man and his two wolves, though from this distance you can see that something is not right about these animals, like their lack of hair and their purple flesh and the veins throbbing all along their backs and legs. The man in robes is holding up a scrap of meat and giving suggestions like, stand, sit, roll over. The wolf creatures don't respond. Then you get close, which gets an instant reaction out of them. They turn and look at you, then they bare their teeth and begin to snarl. Select one of the reactions below. Let's just watch them quietly. The twisted wolf things are no longer distracted by the pitiful scraps of meat the old man dangles before them. You seem much softer and fresher. However, the old man and the guards don't seem to react to this. They just watch, silently and with interest. Is this meant to be some sort of test? The guards smile, perhaps thinking back to trials of their own, but the old man shakes his head. A test? No. You are a hand. You are supposed to aid in my work. This is your job. I will explain more when you are done. The creatures lurch clumsily towards you, one to your right, one to the left, then they start to run, teeth bared. You have little equipment, but you were not foolish enough to travel through the wilderness without a weapon. You prepare to rid the garden of the old man's pets. When the wolves attack, you will enter combat mode. You will then learn how to defend yourself. Alright, you are now in combat. In battle, all of the characters take turns acting. During your turn, you can move, attack, cast spells, use items, and so on. Press the spacebar to end your turn early. To attack a wolf, click on it. Defeat these enemies. Later, you will learn about spells and other abilities. The hideous wolf creatures lie at your feet, dead. The guards, realizing that they have a mess to clean up, look annoyed. The old man just looks sad. Another month of work. Gone. I suppose I must work on my other trinkets for a while. Oh, I am sorry. I am Craftmaster Nicodemus, one of the mages of Avadon. I think I will be helping you in the future. You will be helping me? Oh, yes. You are one of Redbeard's new hands, yes? When you are given tasks, I will be giving you the benefit of my magic. Some of it even works better than these constructions. He waves at the wolf. You called me a hand? Oh, yes. Redbeard has hands, eyes, and hearts. I have an eye and... Oh, I am sure this will be explained inside. I was glad to help. Who do I report to? Nicodemus nods. That is the spirit. But you do not report to me. I was only trying to train the creatures here to get away from the chaos inside. I suppose you should see Heart Miranda. I think she is waiting for you, and she will explain what you need to know. Where is Heart Miranda? Craftmaster Nicodemus makes a signal. The gates begin to slowly open. Miranda is inside, directing things. There has been a serious disturbance, and she will be happy for your help. Now, please excuse me. Then he turns to his wolves, going down on one knee to examine them. Go east through the gate to find Hart Miranda. Her position is now marked on the map window. When no more enemies are visible, you can end combat mode by pressing this button or typing F. You step into the entry courtyard of Avadon. Fresh supplies are stacked everywhere, waiting to be distributed to the warriors and craftspeople. When Avadon wants something, it gets it. However, the atmosphere of the fort is not what you expected. It is chaos. Guards and workers are running everywhere. You hear shouting in the distance. Smell of smoke and, you think, blood hangs in the air. After a lifetime of hearing how deadly and invulnerable Avadon is, this chaos is somehow even more worrying. A woman stands in the middle of the courtyard, an island in the chaos, and directs the workers. This must be the Miranda you were supposed to present your letter of introduction to. Click her to talk to her. You walk up to the woman in the middle of the room. Like Craftmaster Nicodemus, she is wearing long, flowing robes, the traditional garb of the mage. She is in her early 50s. She has served here for a long time. She stops shouting orders and turns to you. Well, pity you didn't show up just a few hours ago. We could have used you. Do you have a letter of introduction? Fortunately, you were given one before you came here. She holds out her hand for it. We're not going to ask questions immediately. Let's just give the letter. She takes the letter, reads it, and nods. Then I formally welcome you, Xander, and I declare you a hand of Avadon, with all privileges and responsibilities attached. Congratulations. He wads up the letter and tosses it onto the floor. A servant instantly collects it and carries it off. Normally, there would be a period of settling in, testing, and so on, but we have had some problems. All of our hands are out in the field. There is something I need you to do now. Can you tell me about yourself? What? Security is broken. Dozens are dead. And you want to know who am I? I am a Heart of Avadon. You will do everything I say or you will suffer. I think that is clear enough. I am a hand. What does that mean? So much to learn, so little time to teach it. Avadon has hands, eyes, and hearts. And the Keeper. I am a Heart, an honored advisor to the Keeper. You are a hand. Your job is to go out and do what needs doing. There will be time to learn more when things are under control. Where can I learn more? I think there is a book on the topic near the quarters assigned to you. You can read it at your leisure later. Who is the Keeper? Surely you have heard of Redbeard, mighty master of Avadon. Do well and you will stand before him. Displease him and... She gives you an evil smile. Hart Miranda is still directing the workers and guards. She barks out a constant string of orders, which are all instantly obeyed. It is fair to say that everyone is terrified of her. What has happened here? You will soon learn that in Avadon, you are told only what you need to know. This is for your protection and ours. Who decides what I get to learn? The Keeper and the Hearts, like me. And what do I have to know? We are having a very long day and you need to help us to keep it from getting longer. What do you need me to do? She nods. Yes, enthusiasm. That is what I like to hear. We are trying to get things in the main fortress under control, but we've had to send most of our hands away. That means we need you to enter the dungeons and restore order, round up some stray prisoners. You do not need to go alone. There are two hands who can help you. They are Sevelin and Nathalie, I believe. She points to the south. On the way down to the dungeons, you can choose one of them to help you. Once you have met the other hands, go downstairs and speak with Imamura. He will tell you what fires to put out. The stairs down the dungeons are now marked on the auto map. For Sevelin and Nathalie. Young hands like you, eager to distinguish themselves. In one case, extremely, painfully eager. I can spare one of them for your cleanup task. What I need to do in the dungeons? That is up to Imamura. Do what he says. You may use any equipment you may find, and if you survive, it will reflect very well upon you. That is vague. I don't want to die without knowing exactly why. Trust me, at the moment of your death, you will not care in the slightest about why it happened. Now you are here, and it is time for you to serve. Go. Alright, new quest, go to dungeons. The recent disruption has enabled many prisoners in the Avadon dungeons to escape. Go south and speak with Thevelin and Nathalie, the hands who can help you to regain control. Then go downstairs, find Imamura, and do whatever he tells you to do. Okay. You enter Avadon's main storeroom, where most of the food, wood, and so on brought to the Black Fortress are kept. There has recently been a fight here. The stone wall is scorched, and splatters of blood dot the walls. The wounded and dead have been hauled away. Only one person is visible from here. A young sorceress stands by the scorched area, looking down at it. She is smiling. When you get close to the young sorceress, she looks up at you. She is breathing hard, still charged with adrenaline from a recent battle. I did it! I killed them, by myself. Not that I will get any notice for it, of course. She takes a moment to calm down. Oh, I am sorry. I am Nathalie. A hand of Avadon. I've spent long enough waiting for action that I need to take a moment to luxuriate in it. What happened here? 3 wretches came out of the dungeon. I was in the main courtyard when I heard them. I surprised and dispatched them, but not before... Wretches? Vile little humanoids, dumb and hungry, the scourge of the known lands. I don't know why Redbeard would bother to keep them around. Did they do any harm? They killed the quartermaster. Not a warrior, but a good man. I spent many hours speaking with him while waiting for something to do. A minute earlier and I might have saved him. Nathalie has calmed down a little from when you first met her. Still here? Surely there's more to do. I can only hope to take part in it. I'm a hand as well. She nods. You have the look and a weapon. I hope you have more luck getting sent out than I do. I am going to clean out the dungeons. She looks startled. What? You? No offense, but you have been here what? 10 minutes? When some of us have been waiting. Once again, she calms down. But you will probably need help, isn't that the case? Taking one of the other hands with you to share in the glory? Yes? You have been wanting to go fight? Of course, I have spent my life working, training, and sharpening my talents to fight for Avadon. All those years, sun up to sundown, and my reward? Sitting in the Black Fortress waiting to be allowed to risk my life. Yes, I want to fight. I ask and ask, but here I stay. I can take one hand into the dungeons with me. It doesn't take her long to do the math. 1 hand out of 2. Me and Thevelin, the warrior. Well, speak to Thevelin and compare. She looks at the scorch marks. I am eager and competent. He is, well, you can see for yourself. When you go downstairs, if you wish, I will come and join you. But you will select me, yes? What can you do for me? I'm a trained sorceress. I can summon bolts of fire and ice and direct them at our foes. I do not rely on crude armor or mundane weapons, however, so you might wish to help me keep a safe distance from our foes. We will see. You see the gleam of enthusiasm in her eyes. Alright, I will be standing ready. When you enter the dungeons, you will be able to choose who travels with you. Okay, so we've met Natalie, who is pretty enthusiastic. Okay, Lycan and Vernum, I didn't really pick up items that didn't have any sort of like value to them. I just ignored it. So, rather we are gonna only pick up armor weapons that do have a value to it. Do have a value to them anyway. And there's the warrior right there, but we'll talk to him here in a moment. There are several locked storerooms back here. They probably contain valuable equipment reserved for someone important. Though, considering the chaos, you doubt anyone would mind if you borrow something. However, to get the locks open, you will need to find some lock picks. You can use lock picks to pick locks. Alas, picks break when used. Shadow walkers and sorceresses have skills that reduce the number of picks you need to open a lock. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you need two. Okay, this has value, so I'll go ahead and put these in my junk back here. Unlike the Vernum trilogy that I covered on this channel, I'm not sure if there are items you need to keep. I don't remember, but if there are, I will make sure I post it in the comment section after I upload this. There is a young warrior standing guard by the passage to the south, keeping close watch in case anything else nasty comes out of it. He turns to look at you. You see that he is about your age. His face bears a nasty scar running diagonally down his face. He says, "Greetings, I am Sevlin. You are here to stand guard with me?" "No, I suppose not. We need to go fight now, don't we? I knew the time would come. I'll follow my orders, I always do." "What are you doing here?" "Just trying to be of aid. When things went wrong this morning, all the hands were sent out on this mission or that. Only I was left." He points to the north and Nathalie. "When wretches came out of the dungeons, I thought I could stand guard until someone found a use for me. The gate is closed, but wretches can slip through the bars. Do you know what went wrong?" "I don't know. The hearts and eyes won't share any information with someone as lowly as me. As far as I can tell, something exploded and everything escaped from the dungeon below. The hands can't help because they have all been sent out of the fortress on missions." He absentmindedly touches this scar. "Being a servant of Avadon doesn't keep us safe. Just the opposite. Do you know what is happening in the dungeon?" "No, but it must have been ugly. Few of the guards on duty down there made it out." Sevlin stares morbidly at the southern corridor. Nothing has come out of there since the wretches. Someone will need to go down and investigate soon. He sounds very grim. "You have been wounded. Do you need help?" At first, Sevlin isn't sure what you mean. He looks down at his armor, looking for signs of an injury. Then he realizes that you were referring to his scar and laughs bitterly. "You mean this? This is an old mark. Easy to forget it is there. I only remember it when I look in the mirror, or when a stranger sees me." "How did it happen?" He looks exasperated. "Even if I enjoy discussing it, this is not the best time." "And you can still fight?" "Of course, if I am ever chosen for a mission again. I'm going to clean out the dungeons." He nods. "I am not surprised. Miranda needs to send a hand down there to clean it up, and you show up in need of testing. I am not offended that I was passed over." "You think you were passed over? Why?" "I do not question the wisdom of Redbeard or the Hearts. They choose who to send in danger for their own reasons. I have learned to simply, quietly accept. I can select one hand to enter the dungeon with me." For a moment, his eyes show a glint of interest, maybe even hope. "I came to Avadon to serve. I have spent too long not serving. I was born to fight. I am ready. What can you do for me?" "I'm a blade master of Avadon. I can stand toe-to-toe with our foes and defeat them with blade and armor. And, if needed, I can stand in their way to help keep them from reaching you. You are prepared to fight? Right now?" He wraps his armor with his knuckle. Then he rests one hand on the pommel of his blade. "I will get everything to prove I can still be a warrior of Avadon. I need to consider Nathalie." He deflates slightly. Yes, of course you do. If you take her, I suppose Avadon needs guards in the corridors as much as anything else. And when you enter the dungeons, you choose who can. You are at the entrance to the Avadon dungeons, final resting place of many foolish enough to fight the pact. You notice that a heavy cloak has been left on the table nearby. It might be wise to put it on before descending into the low tunnels. Okay, normally I wouldn't pick up a cloak otherwise because it has these cloaks have no value, but it is part of the tutorial, or the introduction to this game anyway. This wheel controls the gate to the dungeons. With great effort, you turn it. The gate opens, clearing your path to the dangerous depths below. Okay, too bad I can't take both of them, but I can take one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick Nathalie because my character is already inherently a blade master anyway. So let's make sure we take the sorceress instead. You stand outdoors into the Avadon dungeons, possibly the most terrifying place in Linnaeus. The most dangerous conspirators against the pact are brought here. Every once in a while, one of them emerges again. It is dark down here. In the absence of guards, the lights have gone out. Happily, several lamps have been left on the table nearby. Get a lamp. Once it's in your pack, press the star button next to it to use it. You can use scrolls and potions in the same way. Okay, so in Avernum, I didn't really have a need to grab lamps. But we will go ahead and roll with lamps here and stuff like that here for a while until I feel like I don't need them here in this game either. In case it's just not nearly dark enough to justify bringing the lamp. You walk into the dungeon. Normally the torches would be lit and heavily armed guards would be standing at attention. The jailers would be waiting to collect and process new inmates. And there wouldn't be giant rats everywhere. But the disaster upstairs has left everything abandoned. You can hear shouting and snarling in the distance. But the entry chamber is cold and dark, but not still. As you step onto the walkway, little pairs of lights appear in the shadows to the south. Then they start to move towards you. With the guards gone, the pets in the tunnels far below Avadon have started to emerge. Okay, so here we are fighting already. So of course I'm going to have my own player character, Tank, as a warrior. While keeping Natalie back there. I would say Natalie, but there's that extra H, so that's why I'm saying it, Natalie. Oh, now they started to attack her then. Go ahead and turn a lamp on since I have it. Suddenly, reassuring light appears to the north. Someone has just lit a torch. He shouts, "Is that support at last? Come here, quickly. It's a good time to save the game if you haven't already." Okay, we're not going to save quite yet, though. You merge into a large office. A fence rings an area with desks and shelves heavy with records. New inmates are brought here and sat down while scribes record their arrival, crime, and recommended processing. There are some chains and cages, usually used for wild beasts and monsters in need of examination. When humans are brought here, they are usually just left on the benches. If you are foolish enough to think that they can escape from this place, there is a man in a leather jerkin standing by the far desk. He waves at you. "A hand! At last! Hurry!" The last man on duty in the dungeons walks up to you. He is an aged man with a thick leather jerkin and a broadsword held awkwardly in his hand. He nods to you. I am Memora of Hoklanda, master of the Avadon dungeons. I am pleased to see you, though I confess I thought I might have been aided earlier, and I might add with more force, but we will do what we must. You are the master of the dungeons? He nods somberly. I am. That is why I stayed when the others fled. It's my duty to stay and fight. In safer times, I look out for the prisoners. I keep them safe, which we need to do, and I pull from them the information that Redbeard requires to protect the pact. You keep the prisoners safe? Of course. We protect them while we learn what we must from them. We don't starve them or put them in unsafe circumstances. And then, if we don't need to execute them, we leave them untouched. The ordered way that I run these dungeons is a great point of pride for me. Do prisoners ever leave? He nods. Of course, we always make it clear to our prisoners they have a chance to leave unharmed. All we need is all useful information they possess. And, of course, we need to believe that they no longer threaten the pact. If this is the case, we send them home to serve as a valuable example of the might of Avadon. And if you don't send them back, all true threats to the pact are slain in a quick and merciful manner. Their ashes are then promptly returned to their families, so that they are not left in an unpleasant state of doubt. That's actually pretty fair if you ask me. Imamura stands stiffly with his back to the wall, waiting for more aid. He is prepared to defend himself against rats or vengeance-seeking prisoners. What else do you need? What happened down here? I am not sure. It is the result of something that happened above. Something I still have not been informed about. A pulse of energy from upstairs disrupted our magical wards, enabling some prisoners held creatures to escape. They, in turn, helped others out. There was, as you might expect, a fierce battle. Some prisoners fled. Where is everyone now? Many of the prisoners are dead or were returned to their cells. Some keepers were slain. Others went upstairs for safety. What threats remain? There are abandoned tunnels under Avadon, and some paths have taken this chance to emerge. They will need to be slain. Also, some prisoners are still loose on this level. Many of them will have been devoured by the pests. Others, however, will have to be hunted. Where did all the rats come from? Deep cells. There is a network of old tunnels and cells below the main dungeon that was abandoned and sealed off. It is a home for pests, rats, spiders, other beasts that are sure to emerge. Why haven't those cells been sealed off? We have considered expanding into them, rebuilding, and so on. This disaster is making me reconsider those plans. How can I go down there? Imamura points to the southeast. The stairway down to the old tunnels is in the secure cells. However, I can't give you the key to the cells. You must obtain it from a superior, such as, say, Hand Callan. Miranda sent me to help you. Imamura nods. It is overdue. Now that we are regaining full control of Avadon, it is time to retake the tunnels. They are infested by a wide variety of pests, rats, spiders. Nothing surprising. These must be slain. Also, I have been questioning the keepers as they emerge from the tunnels and go upstairs to safety. There are 4 prisoners who are unaccounted for. These should still be out there in the shadows. You must find them or verify that they have left this level. I closed the gate to the inner caves when I saw that the prisoners were loose. I will try to open it for you. Must those prisoners be slain? They must be found. As long as they are located and don't seem inclined to leave, you may spare them. Or not. As a hand, you have the authority to decide their fate. Who are the prisoners I need to find? There are 4. He consults the scroll. A wretch named Graz. A Cimmerian savage named Hanzi. A tricky young mage from the Tawan Empire named Quiria. And, most dangerously, Shadow Tarkus. Of course, that treacherous creature did not hesitate to try to slip away. When the keepers emerged, they told me where they last saw the lost prisoners. There are now markings on your map. Tell me about the wretch. Graz is a sniveling little creature. We were trying to learn who was selling weaponry in the Wretchlands. He knew nothing. We were going to release him, though he may have jeopardized that mercy by trying to escape. Tell me about the Cimmerian. Cimmerians are barbarians, shamans and warriors of the plains, truly savage and cruel, not like our allies in the Wild Realm. Hanzi was leading raiding parties into Wild Realm lands. Happens often, but we need to make an example of them occasionally. Hanzi surrendered all his information to us freely, so we were planning to release him. Who was the Tawan mage? A particularly vicious rebel, truly filled with hate for us. She was spying in Kelemdariel when we caught her. I hope she can be spared. The scrying of her mind was going well. We had found the existence of some conspirator named Deles in the Tawan Empire. I'm eager to find more. Who is Shadow Tarkus? A spy and assassin. A blade for hire. A killer for coin. However, he only works to harm the Pact and the warriors of Avadon. Capturing him was very difficult and required a good deal of luck. If you find him, you may wish to get help as quickly as possible. By now, he is sure to have armed himself. He is very dangerous. Might he be responsible for your problems? The possibility has occurred to me. However, it is unlikely. He has been continuously changed with our most secure spells. Whoever caused this disaster, it was not him. Secure the dungeon. You have found Imamura in the Avadon dungeons. He told you to enter the dungeon and secure them. Hunt for 4 prisoners, Graz, Hanzi, Quiria, and Shadow Tarkus. If any of them refuse to come peacefully, you should kill them. Okay, there's just a dagger in there. And like with the Vernum trilogy, I do like to still explore and get all that I can. Right now, the game keeps encouraging me to save when I still kind of want to explore first. You have a variety of abilities that can help defeat your foes. Why not try one out? Press this button or type A to use an ability. Okay, I don't want to use that one yet. But I do want to use one that my Blade Master has. Select the ability you wish to use. Press this button to deliver a powerful blow. Then click on a target to attack. When you use an ability, you won't be able to use it for several turns. Savage Blow. Deliver the vicious blow with your blade, dealing more damage than normal. Again, I'll save when I feel like it. Just not overly concerned with it at the moment here. Still want to explore, of course. But that's how I am in like games like this. I really just want to take the time to explore stuff before I really seriously save. Or not save, I mean, I don't want to actually like, you know, rush the game and savor whatever I can. Okay, so my Blade Master is doing a good job of tanking. The enemies are going right for him. Once again, check everything. A couple of short swords, we'll grab that. Put that away. Unlike the Vernum trilogy I did, there is no dual wielding, unfortunately. In this one, it probably would be OP anyway. So I can either stick with a bow or a sword and shield. I mean, not a bow, but one-handed weapon or one-handed weapon with the shield or a spear. Leaning more towards the. I'm thinking about the spear though. A spear might actually be good. Let me go ahead and, before I continue and actually save the game, let me go ahead and show you all the different skill tree here. I'll show you how I build. So it's kind of like the Vernum trilogy in a way. You have your 4 attributes, have resistance and stuff like that. But you have different paths you can work on. I mean, the maximum levels you can get is level 30. So we do kind of want to spread out. I mean, not really spread out, but I mean, there is one particular path I'm thinking about getting here. And I do have a Blade Master, so this path right here sounds really good. Let me go ahead and read them all for the Blade Master melee training. Make sure melee attacks more likely to hit and do damage. Actually, let me go ahead and save this now until we actually level up and then get introduced. But you kind of see what the skill trees are already. You have 2 different paths here. Skill points are definitely going to be sparse though, because the highest level you can go is level 30. So you do want to choose one particular path. You can't just like get all these leveled up, unfortunately. I'm debating on which one I'm gonna do for my Blade Master in my playthroughs though, because both of these options do sound intriguing. And then since I have her, I will show you the sorceress's path. I'll read all these when I actually level up and when I get the chance, but with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to what the game is telling me and actually save the game right here. But I am very excited to bring this Let's Play to y'all. And I can't wait to continue more of Avadon the Black Fortress, so I will see you all until then.